Okay, so my recording software crashed, so I decided that was a good moment in time for me to take a nap, rest a little, get something to drink, all that nice and healthy stuff. Some self-care, basically. I made sure that I was relatively safe when I logged out. I believe I was mining, judging from the looks of it. I need to look around and find out what I was doing. Let's see. Where am I regionally? For you guys, this is easy. You're probably chuckling because I don't remember where I was from like a minute ago in the video, but a minute ago in the video is yesterday for me. Like in real life, it was yesterday. Okay, so there's my mining tunnel. That tells me where I am. I now know where I am. I now know what I'm doing all the way over here. I am harvesting andesite, igneous rock formations here, as well as harvesting coal, because getting that black gold is nice. Some people may not agree that coal is technically classified as black gold. However, I would like to remind those people that oil is a carbon-rich fluid, which is why gasoline is so energetic, which makes gasoline a good fuel source, by the way. In case anyone ever wondered why gasoline was such a good fuel source, that's why. It's because gasoline is extremely energetic, to an insane degree. If our cars were to burn 100% of the fuel available to them through gasoline, then we would only need to refuel roughly, to give you an idea in miles per gallon, let us approximate that the average car today gets roughly 30 miles to a gallon. If you were to burn 100% of the gasoline fuel in a gallon of gas, in today's standards, mind you, a gallon of gas, we'll say 92 octane. Okay, 92 octane is not that high end. It is a little high end, yes, but it's nothing you can't get at your average American gas station today. You can get 92 octane at a gas station, I'm pretty sure. Been a little while since I actually checked what the available options were, but you get the idea. That's not the point. The point is, 92 octane gasoline is capable of running a car for I want to say probably close to 100 miles to a gallon. Mind you, that is with complete usage of the gasoline fuel. If you don't use all of the gasoline fuel, then you're probably not going to get like 90 to 100 miles a gallon. Simply put, though, gasoline is just highly inefficient for how we're processing it, how we're using it. The problem is not the fuel. Okay, everyone's talking about, oh, fossil fuels are limited. Fossil fuels are underused. I understand how some people could misunderstand that sentence, and that's all right. It's fine to not understand what I mean when I first say that. Please try not to take that statement out of context, of course. I would like to point out fossil fuels are underused because fossil fuels are not fully understood. Fossil fuels need oxygen to burn. I mean, that's basic science. You know, fire, oxygen, 1 and 1. You know, that's simple. It's very straightforward science. They even go over it in Doctor Who. Oh, there's a campfire. Must be oxygen. Let me take my helmet off. They do that. That's a scene. There's a lot of research going on into how to improve a vehicle. More specifically, how to make cars more profitable for the company that is building the cars. However, if we really cared about the economy, we would just follow simple 5th grade science, which simply states just add more oxygen. It's so easy a 5th grader could figure it out. I'm surprised no one's figured it out sooner. There probably have been a few people who figured it out at least once. But I'm guessing they were probably not in the best position to discuss such things publicly, and they probably were a little bit uncomfortable when approached, obviously, because they were, not used to such situations. But if this is something 5th grade science is easily capable of figuring out, my next question then turns to, what else did we miss as a species? What else did the human race miss? What did the human race not see? What's beyond the scope of our vision? And that really drives home a very solid question of, how do we actually process all of this stuff as a species? Not just, how do we process it? No, like, how do we cope with knowing what we're doing to the environment? How do we understand how to better process all of the stuff that we're doing wrong so that we don't, do it wrong? How do we fix what we broke in our own system? Mind you, we broke our own system. How do we fix that? How do we stop ourselves from hurting ourselves? It's very philosophical. And of course, philosophy is not an easy subject. Philosophy is very, philosophical. That's the problem with philosophy. It's philosophical. You can't get a straight answer out of it because it's philosophy. Whoever expected a straight answer out of philosophy, right? I mean, be honest. Did any of you people ever ask your philosophy professor something and expect something other than some sort of mystical answer type mumbo jumbo type stuff for a response? No. You know why? because everyone understands philosophy is philosophy and philosophy is confusing. You know? At least to anyone who's, normal. Any normal human is going to sit there and go, you said what? To who? Where? Why? What does that even mean? It's like, well, it's philosophy. What do you mean, what does it mean? What do you think it means? It's philosophy, man. It's like grabbing a New York slice. Everyone knows a New York slice is, a New York slice. It's a piece of pizza. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that. It's awesome. I love pizza. However, some people don't like pizza because maybe pizza has bad memories for them. Who knows? You really gotta ask each person, hey, is this a good thing? Is this fine with you? If not, let me know so I can adjust accordingly. Because you want to be adaptive to the people around you. You want to pay attention, make sure they're getting the attention that they need. They're not always going to be getting the attention they need. And that's something that just needs to be tracked. You got to keep track of that stuff. Make sure that you don't accidentally overlook something. Stuff like that. It's tedious, monotonous. It happens. However, it doesn't need to just be there's a phrase for this, and I cannot remember what the phrase is. It doesn't need to be something that is left as a mystery. It doesn't need to be this strange occurrence that we need to study and figure out. No, it can just be something as simple as saying, hey, how does this work? And we'll just tell you. I mean, humans are very straightforward like that. If you just ask us a simple, direct question, 9 times out of 10, yeah, human will just tell you the answer. And if they don't, well, maybe they're suspicious of something. Maybe they just need some form of reassurance. And once they get that reassurance, they'll probably be more comfortable talking about it. I'm going to mark that cave as with a torch, as I plan to eventually return to that cave, simply through virtue of that was a lot of stuff that I could harvest, namely the other varieties of stone. So I will for sure want to return to that cave. This is going to create a mess, so I'm going to block off there, because the moment I carve this out, it's going to drop water. See? I'm going to dig out this layer, and then I'm going to dig out this layer. While I'm at it, I will even dig out this layer. And the reason for that is because I want to not need to block off the wall yet again in order to place torches. I want to be capable of simply walking up and placing the torch and not needing to worry about going back for it because something decided to break all of my torches with water sources. Oh, I found another cave. Not a very large one, I see. Oh, I can resupply my air in here. That's a little silly. Okay, so now that that's all situated, I can go ahead and clear out this section. And I can clear out this section. I can clear out this section. Okay, now I have a solid idea of roughly what needs to be done to fix this. Now if I clear out this soil, I can see that the water source is very limited in where it's originating from. So if I place blocks there and there and there and there, I end up with this extremely limited oh, come on. Go figure. When I'm trying to make the example work, as per standard YouTube practice, YouTube makes the YouTuber look silly. Of course. So there is water above all of those. Do not break those. Why? Because you'll find water. Let's see. Next, I need to place my torches. I should actually move this back to here, since if a creeper blows up or something down here for whatever reason, I want to make sure that I'm going to have some form of safety net for retrieving my items. But yeah, that's so that's a cave network right there. A very nice one at that. Of course. Of course. I'm a little bit surprised that the water decided to start spilling forth from here, as I was not expecting that spot to also contain water. I shall mark that off as containing water then. I should... Oh, I don't need to return to the base. What am I saying? I was going to say I should return to the base, but, well, I'm A, technically below my base currently, and B, I already do technically have all of the materials that I need. I just don't have anything for decorating. However, the excavation bit and the the lighting, I have covered. And that's what I'm down here for. I'm down here for excavation and lighting. I want to light the place up. I want to dig the place out. I want to make sure that I don't have slime spawning behind me, because I know there's a slime chunk way over there, which is wonderful. It's great news. Just breaking all these blocks with the pickaxe, as usual. And this one should be solid. Yeah, that one's solid. Okay, and then I dig there, and I dig there. Ah, that broke that pickaxe. Cool. Stack up the torches so I have all the inventory space I need. I do plan to swap. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the torches out for the jack-o'-lanterns, the pumpkins, the carved pumpkins. Yes, yes, yes. You're big slime, you were behind me, I get it. Okay, now to punch you all to death with the chicken. If I could have, I would have used rabbit just for the memes. Just for the Monty Python reference. Let's see. So I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. And yeah. So yeah, I plan to replace all of these torches with carved pumpkins with a torch inside them. The rails will likely be powered here, roughly every other segment. So like this one, well, I suppose I would start down here, wouldn't I? So this one would be powered, and then this one wouldn't be powered, and then this one would be powered, and then this one wouldn't be powered, this one would be powered, this one wouldn't be powered. And the way I'd power them is I would just put a redstone block, like right there. Does it use a lot of redstone? Yes. Will it be worth it? Yes. Because the lanterns will allow me to provide a light source. No green supersuit needed. For those interested in such ordeals. I did just realize that all of these dirt blocks are placed one block too low, which is unfortunate because that means this is about to happen. You'll see in a moment, don't worry. I'm just half expecting any of these blocks to reveal it. And surprisingly, none of them did. Okay, well, let's see how well this handles. Yeah, no green animated supersuit needed. You just plan accordingly. Okay. In the words of Pitbull, timber. I apparently missed an auxiliary cave. From the looks of it. I did not know that cave was over there. However, I suppose I am glad that I found it, as I now have access to all of that cave to explore. Joy. So let me see if I can block this off so it's not creating huge mess everywhere. And then I want to block this one off as well. Thank you. Could you not? Okay, so this appears to be some sort of fully submerged pocket of water, meaning entirely useless to me. However, now this water source is like going all crazy on me. That should have stopped it. Oh, it's this one. There we go. So now that situation is handled. The water's all calmed. That was more work than it should have been. And yes, that was a mess. Yeah, that needed to be there. And then that needed to be there. That carved out and that carved out. Huh. Ironically left just enough light for the torch, or just enough space for the torch, I should say. Okay, now if all of this breaks, these 3 dirt blocks should be completely useless. This dirt block is only useful for containing this column. Otherwise, I would not want that dirt block there, as it will wipe out that torch. Let's see. It appears we have successfully cleared out this area. I will want that there. No, I'll clear that out because I want that and that and that filled in. Because I want to replace that and that. Okay, I can leave that. But I want to replace these 3 with cobblestone. Simply so that I don't break in there. I don't want to break those blocks. It's a bad idea. Especially since there's really nothing worthwhile in there to, like, reclaim. It's just a bad idea. This one is fine, apparently. Okay. So I'll replace that with dirt. This one is not as fine. As a result, it gets cobblestone. Where'd that dirt block go? Did I pick it up? I don't think I picked it up. Either way. It gets the cobblestone. Yeah. And the same for the block below it, of course. And these 2 act as a sort of control group. I can swim in here, and I can, reclaim any items that I might have left behind due to my excavation. Because I'm using such a powerful shovel, I don't mind digging underwater. As a matter of fact, I can clear out all of this excavation without even really needing to surface once, surprisingly. Now that I have all of that complete, I can fill in there. Now all of this can be cleaned up. I didn't destroy all of my light. I didn't create a huge mess. I managed to contain the entirety of it all in this tiny little section here, which is conveniently secured. Okay. Break out the shovel. Clean up the place. And then place down the 2 torches that were wiped out through all of the excessive amounts of aquatic navigation. Cordon off the area in case there is ever another issue of similar design. And there we go. Problem solved. I could probably cordon this off the same way with that diagonal pattern. There we go. So yeah, the stretch is 7 blocks long on a diagonal. However, it worked out fine. I got a lot of andesite out of it, which is great because I need a lot of it to decorate this tunnel. You know, a lot of the oh, that's right. I can do this now. Can't I? No? How about this? Can I do it over here? They're supposed to be adding this feature to Bedrock Edition where you can just long press to craft up to a stack. I suppose they have not added that feature yet. It must still be in the beta. That being said, that feature will definitely get use. That will get used, by me at least, if not so many other players of the Bedrock Edition, because the Bedrock Edition really is that tedious when you're trying to craft. The Bedrock Edition is so tedious with the crafting, it's truly ridiculous. Okay. Now I can swap out these dirt blocks for polished andesite. And then, of course, the polished andesite is going to provide a nice look for this entire area, simply through virtue of just being a nice looking block. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm going to go ahead and fill in that because I do not plan to have that come back to haunt me. This side, however, I want this. Like I said, there is a lot of different types of material in that cavern. I like that cavern. That cavern is nice. So I will want that cavern again in the future. I probably will install some form of access hatch right here. Matter of fact, I can do that right now, simply by virtue of that. Yeah, that works great. Took out a torch or two, but worth it. Totally worth it. Not as big of a mess as if I had broken it on one of the other blocks. But yeah, as you can see, the cobblestone is quite the sizable chunk of this underwater area. However, this underwater area is full of materials that we're going to want. I might come in through this area with a sponge and just clean up all of the water, just for the sake of, cleaning up all of the water. That being said, if I'm going to do that, I should, of course, clear up some of the other parts of the water as well. I should light up the area down here a little bit better. I should clear it out a little bit better. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we have all of this granite down here. At least I think it's granite. I don't remember. I honestly have not paid much attention to the block variety since the 1.18 release, where these blocks were introduced. The andesite, the granite, and the diorite, I believe they were. I haven't paid much attention to them, simply because I've not used them very often. Actually, I'm going to replace this one with dirt. That way it just looks normal. It looks not normal. It's like a bunch of cobblestone, some torches, okay, that's a maybe, and then there's just this one square of polished andesite. It's like, that is A, located right above this torch. B, why is it in the ceiling? So it's suspiciously out of place on purpose. Oh, right. Silverfish. I forgot you things were a thing. I had entirely forgotten that I was mining through a silverfish vein at one point. Hey, don't you poof on me. I know what you are. Get out of here. Yeah, now we're suddenly upset. Yeah, that's what I figured. So that's why I was trying to smack him with the pickaxes, because I knew there was more silverfish in the area. And if you smack them and it's not a one-hit kill, they'll start getting upset and they'll start breaking out of their eggs. Now apparently they must have modified the rates a little bit, because I remember that had like a 100% break chance and you just get swarmed with silverfish whenever you smacked a silverfish. Apparently that has changed, ? Possibly. Silverfish used to be a real pain in the butt. Now they're more of a nuisance, it would seem. And when I say pain in the butt, I mean the silverfish would swarm you to the point where you either had to retreat or you had to have really good equipment. The fact that that is no longer the case tells me that things probably were changed around. Few too many players probably complained about the difficulty of surviving a silverfish attack. The silverfish, of course, do not hit very hard. However, when there's roughly 15 of them chasing after you, they don't need to hit hard. There's 15 of them at that point. Which point you're kind of, as they say, up the creek. If you know what I mean. Not to use a NexusCraft reference or anything, but you know, when you're up the creek without a paddle, as they say, you well, you find yourself rather quickly up a creek without a paddle, and as a result, you find yourself in quite the predicament. The capacity of my memory of what I'm talking about can vary based on how much attention I'm paying to the task at hand, and if I'm focusing hard enough, I sometimes will find that I forget what the topic was. For example, right now, I might have forgotten the topic. And because I can't hear anyone speaking at the moment, because I'm recording a video in single-player survival, I'm sitting here just wondering what the hell I was talking about. Something about silverfish being mean. Whatever. I'm going to harvest this cave for a lot of ore. When I reach y equals 0, I will branch off into the next cave if I have not found anything worthy of note. Simply because it's a good limitation for me to just, decide that would be a good spot to stop. Just stop at 0. It's actually a pretty good stopping point. I will definitely have gone past the spawn chunks if I stop at 0, as the spawn chunks are roughly at 100 or 200. I forget which. I'm speaking specifically, of course, mind you. The base is at 200, so the base is like right there. Somewhere. The base is somewhere in that region. The diamonds that I'm looking for, however, are not yet found. There's supposed to be a few diamonds in every chunk. A chunk, of course, being 16 blocks by 16 blocks, which is, of course, a bit of a trick in order to improve or upgrade, if you will, the processing capacity of Minecraft. Since Java is so woefully unoptimized for games, the designers, the developers of Minecraft, decided to implement a method of loading each section of of data in order to optimize how each chunk of data gets rendered, which lightens the load on the processor and the RAM. You don't need as much RAM, you don't need as much processor, simply because you have, you know, a decent setup for your software. If your hardware is not capable, expand your software. It's a simple, or upgrade your software, I should say. It's a simple concept. It's very basic, and it's very effective. It works. It really does. It really works. A lot of people would take the opportunity to reference the Facebook meme at this moment, which is where the phrase of, or no, it was a Bethesda, wasn't it? Was it Bethesda or was it Facebook? I don't remember. Either one. But basically, it just works. It just works. You know? It doesn't need to make sense. It just works. Basically means, try as you might to describe it, you probably won't have an easy enough time defining it to make it worth your while. It just works. Just let it work, you know?